Hi everyone, and welcome to my next video tutorial, which is going to be focused on deleting an Amazon S3 bucket. So let's go ahead and get started. So we can head on over to S3. Okay, so let's just type that in and we can click on S3 here to head to the Amazon S3 dashboard page. Okay, and just give it a moment. Now what I want to do is to ensure that we are on the same page here. So as you can see here, I already have an Amazon S3 bucket. So remember, this video is on deleting an Amazon S3 bucket. So it is already assumed that you have an Amazon S3 bucket and you have a few files / objects in that bucket. So as we can see here, we have one bucket here on the general purpose buckets known as DSS Cloud 22. That's the name of my bucket. And I'm going to click in this bucket here. And as you can see in my bucket, I have a few objects. I have a TXT file here and I have 2 JPEG images in my bucket here. So I have 3 objects in total. So what you need to make sure that you have set up and ready to go is an Amazon S3 bucket with some objects in your bucket first of all. Now, let me show you how you can go ahead and delete this Amazon S3 bucket. So I'm going to go back here to buckets. And what I want to do is I want to click here on the radio button next to the bucket I want to delete. And for most of you, if you've never deleted an Amazon S3 bucket, you're going to assume that you need to click on delete. So let me show you what's going to happen if we click on delete. If I say delete here, it's going to say this bucket is not empty. Buckets must be empty before they can be deleted. So this is something you need to keep in mind when you're deleting your Amazon S3 buckets. If you created an Amazon S3 bucket and you didn't upload any files, this is going to work perfectly because you don't have any objects / files. However, as you saw in my case just now, I have some files. I have a TXT document and I have 2 JPEG images. So let me go ahead and say cancel. And let's go ahead and empty this bucket first. So you want to click on the radio button next to the bucket that you want to delete. Then you want to say empty. And then you want to first of all scroll down and permanently delete all the objects first in your bucket before you can delete the bucket itself. So I'm going to just go ahead and copy permanently delete and paste that in, or you can type it. And then you want to say empty. Now this is going to empty your bucket, and you can see you've emptied your bucket. So this means all those objects have been deleted. So if we scroll up and say exit, and now let's say we were to navigate to our bucket again. So let's click on our bucket. You can now see those objects have been deleted. So this is the process of emptying your bucket. So first you need to empty your bucket if you have objects, and then only then can you delete it. So now that it's empty with no objects, we can go back to buckets and we can scroll down. And now we can click on the radio button for the bucket that we want to delete. And like before, we can just say delete. Scroll down and let's go ahead and enter in that name of that bucket, paste it in and say delete bucket. And there we go. So that is how you can essentially go ahead and delete your Amazon S3 bucket. So remember, the key rule is to make sure first of all that you've emptied your bucket of all of the objects / files in it before you go ahead and delete your bucket. Alright guys, so that's it for this video tutorial on how you can delete an Amazon S3 bucket. So that's it, and as always, thank you for support and I'll see you next time. Bye.